majority member, Democrat, and understands this issue implicitly, and said, please, don't pass this. And
57 no votes. I mean, you have like over a dozen Democrats voting with
which
you.
is a big deal.
Yeah, very good.
And there were more, and then they needed to feel comfortable. So Candace Terreri went around. Candace Terreri is Sheldon Silver's toy poodle. Went around and made sure that they got more votes.
Okay, let's talk about something we've discussed on prior shows: the offshoring of jobs from IBM. Not just the outsourcing of jobs, but offshoring. Explain the difference before we get any further.
Well, I mean, when you outsourcing can be used as a very clinical definition where you can actually outsource jobs domestically and internally. Offshoring is so while you may not have those jobs created in Dutchess County, maybe they'll be created in Orange County. You can outsource. Offshoring is when you take those jobs and say, I'll see you later, America. We're going to set up our offshore account, and these jobs are never coming back. And that's exactly what's happening. And the problem is it seems to be happening at taxpayer expense. Now, I've asked that the Corporations Committee actually do a complete investigation to find out why IBM was given nearly $150 million while they are contemporaneously and simultaneously offshoring tens of thousands of American jobs. I've been to India, Ted. I have worked in India. I was actually part of an American development company that was creating American jobs by expanding into India, finding opportunities for American architects and engineers and construction companies to build there and grow. And I have seen it firsthand. And IBM at that point, when I was over there, was expanding hundreds of thousands of square feet, and they're preparing for a long-term expansion into the subcontinent.
Okay, let's take a look at your comments. This was March 31st, before the budget was due. We'll look at some of that debate, and then we're back with Assemblyman Greg Ball.
I would have brought it up in a conference committee if I was able to do so, and let you know that IBM accepted nearly over $45 million from the taxpayers of this state. And then not even a year later, they announced that they were going to offshore over 5,000 jobs. That's part of a near 10-year plan to offshore tens of thousands of jobs, not to Iowa, not to Pennsylvania, where at least they'd be stateside, but to places like Bangalore in India. I would have brought that up. And instead, on top of the other $45 million, I'm now to understand they're getting another $50 million. I thought it was George Bush and the Republicans that were for corporate welfare. I would have liked to have been given the chance to talk to you about that, to bring that up in a conference committee, to maybe bring that point up that IBM, a company that's offshoring American jobs, that just applied for a patent because they've perfected the practice of offshoring, that New York State is about to give them another $50 million.
Okay, we have one more piece of tape. We'll let the people rack it up. We'll give them some time. It deals with New York City tenants, tenant owners, actually.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact quote because I have been very active on the floor, but I'm pretty sure that this clip just goes to the basic issue that we pass bill after bill after bill, law after law after law, taking care of New York City tenant. Folks that rent in New York City, and they rant and rave about how important it is to make sure that we're taking care of tenants and the renters in New York City. And meanwhile, my people and the people in Long Island, the suburban districts, are continually being harassed and harangued by a tax policy that is blatantly and systematically unfair, the property tax crisis. So I just laid that point out for my fellow colleagues that I have such a wonderful,
artfully and emphatically, I'm sure.
I don't remember exactly.
Let's see how you did.
Okay.
And we're back to wrap it up with Greg Ball.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I will be voting in the affirmative here. I would just like to say, I would like to remind the majority members in this House, we passed bill after bill after bill protecting renters and tenant rights in New York City. And when you raise your right hand, to protect and to do good, not only for New York City, but for the state of New York. And we have millions of people in the Hudson Valley, whether it's the MTA bailout and the payroll tax, the elimination of the middle-class STAR program, or the gutting of the STAR program for the last 3 years. Our constituents in the Hudson Valley and Long Island and suburban New York are dying. 2 million New Yorkers have left this state, and the New Yorkers who have left this state are the New Yorkers who are paying for all the expensive social programs that you passed year in and year out. And this failed social experiment is about to fall through the cracks in New York State government, and the blood of those lost souls is going to be on all of your hands. You raised your right hand to defend all of New York State. I'm glad that you have my support today. It'd be nice to get some of your support, making sure that the constituents of my district and the suburban districts that we all represent are also represented. Thank you very much.
We've covered a lot of ground. You want to follow? We've got about 10 seconds.
I would just say for the constituents back home that this bracelet is not some liberal wackadoo bracelet. It kind of looks a little floral, right? This is for autismresourcecenter.info, autismresourcecenter.info. So parents that have autistic children or special needs children can go to that website to help them, so they don't consistently have to recreate the wheel, and they can learn from the experiences of other families.
Very good. Greg, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Assemblyman Greg Ball, thank you out there for joining us on this edition of Assembly Calendar. We'll see you soon. I'm Ted Flynn.